Everyone, welcome. Pull up a seat. Welcome. I am a poor wayfaring stranger traveling through this world below. There is no sickness, no death, no toil, no danger in this bright land of which I go. I'm going there to see my father, all my loved ones who are gone. Just going over Jordan. I'm going over home. I know dark clouds will gather round me. I know my way is hard and steep, but beauteous fields arise before me, where gods redeem their vigils keep. I'm going there to meet my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. Going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I'm going over Jordan. I'm going over home. Well, hello. Is there anybody out there? Let's take a look. Good to see everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Hot Topics Thursdays. I thought I would just sing a little something to bring joy to you. This channel exists for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to bring joy and happiness to the world. And so if I've achieved that, I'm happy. Sometimes I don't achieve that. Sometimes I vent and I take out my personal stuff, and for that I apologize. But my goal is to bring good things to you. I just had to grab my Morgan Greer. I've gotten back into my Morgan Greer lately. Well, today is the State of the Union. How do you all feel about that? I'm feeling the State of the Union is good. I think that the only way that Trump could win is if a third party candidate came in and they targeted specifically states where it's pretty thin, the margins, like Michigan, for example, if they went in with a strong third party in Michigan, Pennsylvania, those places that could theoretically flip with a strong third party candidate. And they may choose to chisel that out, I would think, where they would say, well, he's never going to get the majority, but what if we can get him the majority in these states? Yeah, well, we'll see how it's going. Good news out of Gaza, more food aid is coming in. Yay. So hopefully, I guess the U.S. is building a floating port to bring the food. That's also really good news. And anything else? Putin's assets have been frozen. The oligarchs' assets have been frozen. And so Russia now cannot get access to a huge ton of money. The arc of the war, this is something that people get frustrated with me as a remote viewer, because I always think that people should see things right away. Like, I can't believe Mitch McConnell would endorse Donald Trump, given that the man has 91 felony charges. This is the insane, crazy world we find ourselves in. An insane world where people who claim to support Israel are pushing to get Trump reelected, the very man that pulled U.S. troops out of Syria, which put Hezbollah in striking distance. Israel is within striking distance of 150,000 Hezbollah fighters. So I'm baffled and bewildered why Putin, Trump, pardon the French, pardon the Freudian slip, why Trump, who is friends with Putin, of course, would be the favorite of anybody who claims that they support Israel. Clearly, the fan favorite would be Biden, but that's creating, of course, stress in Michigan, in the Islamic community, because people don't want to see war and they don't want to see innocent children being killed. And unfortunately, Gaza is similar to North Korea in the sense that it's got this really crazy cult. And there's no easy way to pull the people away from this cult. Even people that desperately want to get into the cult, because suicide bombers will dive into the middle where innocent people are trying to get food. So it's a terrible way to fight. Even if you had the best of intentions, it would be very difficult to help people in such a situation. But I've always felt that it was going to get better. I always felt that we would begin the Oasis One program or something similar in Rafah, which appears to be what's going on. And thank you, Joel, for pointing out that Biden and Benny Gantz did go into secret talks. This is the ethical dilemma that I get asked in class. Do we as remote viewers have the right to put ourselves into a remote? Let's discuss it. If you see something as ethically or morally wrong as a remote viewer, do you have the right to interfere? Yes or no? Discuss. Because I'm directly involved in this. Did I do the wrong thing? By throwing myself into the peace proposal, getting into people's faces, writing Benny Gantz, writing these people, writing Elon Musk. Was it a violation of the natural order? Because instead of simply observing and delivering the issue, the problem, and the solution, I took it upon myself to go one step further. I would say it is not in violation, because if your intention is to save a life or to report something, then it is not a violation. And other researchers were coming with the same conclusion that I was coming up with. So it was it was meta-analysis that we were sending Benny Gantz. So my response is, if you think you can help, help. You are not in violation. So, do I think that Oasis One program is going to be implemented? Yes. Do I think it's going to start in Rafah? Yes. Do I think that Benny Gantz is going to be the next prime minister of Israel? Yes. Do I think the money's with Benny Gantz? Yes. Um, do I think it was ethically right of me to do this? To write it out for them? Say, here's how you do it. You see Oasis Sinai to the left, land expansion over in the Rafah area. Was I wrong to throw myself into the remote? No. No. Each one of these pods is going to be joined by a road, and each does a different service for the people of Gaza, and is going to give them more space because it's going to be joint. People that pass security get to go and live in this area, and so we can see a beautiful expansion starts to happen, along with you can see the lines of migration based on the migration pattern that I did for them. This was based on the computer program. We put it through a few of what the migration patterns would look like. And so I have no doubt that this is where we will come to. I have no doubt that this is where we will come to. This is where we've taken people, right in this area. You see what I said? This is where we have to start the line. This is where people are going. This is Egypt. This is the border. This is the north. So, no, contribute. Absolutely. If you can help. My frustration as a remote viewer is that I will see what people are trying to do. By the way, I didn't create that. Benny Gantz created that. It's just that what I did, much to the shock of Benny Gantz, is that I got to be Benny Gantz, and I became him, and I put myself in his shoes, and I looked at data, and I put myself in his shoes, and I said, you know, Mr. Gantz, I think this is what you're doing, isn't it? I never heard back. Because to hear back would be an admission that Dr. Whimsy is right, and he can't do that. But what I can do is say, I know damn well, Mr. Gantz, I know damn well that this is what you were developing. And so it was just cool to give that validation to him. Yeah. It was a meta-analysis. It was not my research. I just put it together for people. Did we do the impasse prayer yet? I don't think we did we? Oh, Terry, you arrived just in time. So are people excited about the State of the Union? What do you think is going to happen? Yes, unfortunately, the truth is coming out that, yay, I got it right. I got it right. Guys, some of you guys say you missed that song. I should get my bunny. I want a bunny so bad. You know, Kay has just her bunny just had bunnies. Kay Travel. Yeah, but yeah, I really want a bunny. So rather, I sing with the fake bunny. But yes, my love. Yes, Trump. Heavily medicated. You are right, Joel. This is not me being a psychic. This is me being a physician. And I couldn't figure out why the other doctors are talking about everything but drugs. I mean, clearly the man is on yo-yo drugs of amphetamines, uppers and downers. He was on uppers and downers. So I thought that it was pretty obvious. Slurring of words in the morning, that can be a benzodiazepine or Ambien, and based on the types of drugs that were going out, that Dr. Rodney, whatever, Jackson, who's now, I guess that he was under some type of discipline. Now it's coming out because of this. It was a candy factory. And he was giving him they were aging drug addicts. Right? Him and his friends were a bunch of aging drug addicts. So they wanted amphetamine, they wanted oxycodone, they wanted Viagra, Ambien. Exact opposite of Barack Obama, because I've also been in Barack Obama's bedroom with his wife. Remember that? When he can't sleep, and he will not take a sleeping pill, Rodney Jackson. He would not even take an Ambien, even though the doctor was there saying, I can give you something to sleep. So and then Michelle Obama said to us, he thinks the pill is for him. And I thought that was kind of a joke from her to us, because he would keep her up. He would be thinking about Pakistan or whatever, and he would not take a sleeping pill, and it would keep Michelle up, right? So she would say, why don't you just take a sleeping pill? Because she was trying to get some sleep, right? So two very different personalities, right? He just didn't like it. It's something that also comes up in his biographies. I mean, he would fast. He didn't want to put things in his system. He was a very serious young man, and I think that comes from being raised by his grandparents. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. So the other thing people were talking about had to do with Putin's assets being freezed. You know, it goes back to what Navalny had said, that if they kill me, it means that we are very strong. And the fact that they were in such bad financial shape, he was doing everything in his power to get people to settle so that he could get the land, because he knew he was running out of money. Putin was running out of money, right? So he was trying, take the deal, take the deal, take the deal. He couldn't let people know just how broke Russia was, but we knew how broke Russia was. We knew why he fired Prigozhin. And then he was honest enough to say Prigozhin cost us a fortune, right? They didn't have the money to pay the guy. The bank was empty, right? So then Prigozhin started to fight with Shoigu, because they had to tell Putin, hey, we're out of money. We're out of bullets, right? And then Prigozhin got mad. You have the money. You can pay me. I mean, talk about a greedy guy. Jeez. I just want to check Putin right now. It does feel like it's his last grasp of power, doesn't it? Those cat wipes have been a lifesaver, by the way. They really cured my problem without me having to take too many pharmaceuticals. Queen of Rods is coming in over an issue of poverty. The karma is poverty here. I feel strong female energy entering into Russia with the Queen of Rods. I feel like this is a time of Russian women leadership. And I think that there's a kind of angry indignation with the Queen of Rods. You know, I always think of her as saying, I seek justice absolute, my way or the highway. You know, I always think of Rods also as territorial, like it's going to be my way. The fact that this is where Russia is right now, the fact that their karma is severe poverty, it's the one thing that is going to snap people out of their helplessness, particularly snapping, hi Jillian, particularly snapping people out of any kind of apathy. The helplessness is this idea that we've had enough, this kind of we're going to fight. Could also be that that's Navalny's wife. And it could be that Navalny's wife has a future in politics. Where they are right now is Ace of Cups. This leads me to think that there's this kind of feeling, come on, man, we're all Russians. Ace of Cups is an attempt to heal the situation. See, again, crossing card is partnership, a desire. We've all got to come together. Kumbaya. Let's not have a revolution right now. The church will unite us. The thing that holds Russia together is the church, right? And what sits below Russia is offers that are being rejected. No, we're not accepting this. So the church is there to uphold or to create a united nation. That is what Putin is trying to do, but people are simply not accepting it. And this is also the reason why historically this part of the world was really anti-Semitic, right? Anybody that was not part of the church was an enemy of the church, right? You're either with us or against us. The person that this is Navalny's card, by the way. I see a woman. I see it being the time of the women, and I see women warriors coming. I also see justice. The Queen of Swords has to do with justice. Look at this. They don't have money. They're going to have to draw on their hidden bank accounts, which means their hidden crypto, which is their Ethereum and their Bitcoin. So we could be seeing a drop in some of the crypto as they start to pull money out of hidden accounts. Two of Pentacles. The opposition wants to help them. Page of Cups. The opposition offers them healing, like surrender, the hope and fear to get a treaty. The final outcome for Putin in Russia, the Queen of Cups. She rubs her lamp and dreams. Justice is coming over Russia. The opposition to Russia is the world. The entire world condemns what Russia is doing. The hopes and the fears, again, 10 of Cups. And over the dreaming queen, 3 of Wands. She dreams to expand her boundaries. But so in plainer words, Russia has a great future, expanded boundaries. Again, another queen comes. These are all queens. The future is the women. Queen of Cups is a dreamer, and she expands her goodness. 3 of Wands. The future is not Putin. And here again, the Queen of Rods comes in, this strong woman who fights. It is enough. I have had it. You have crossed my boundary for the last time. Gosh, that is the Queen of Wands. And what does she do? What is she angry about? The poverty. And then here, who comes in relationship to what happened to Navalny, his death, justice, and the Queen of Swords, who seeks the sword of justice. So it's like he's trying to sell them on this fake power. But we have the church. We have this church. Light a candle. Pray to the saints. And they're like, forget that crap. We are broke. Our family members are coming home in body bags. You just killed Navalny. So it's really, and it's seeing that the leaders of this revolution are going to be women. And I think one of the reasons why is because so many of the men have been either arrested or killed. Think about that. So many of the men have been arrested and killed that only the women are left to lead the revolution. And so the future of Russia is women, must be women, female leadership. Wow, thank you for allowing me to go in there. That was quite an education for me. Thank you. Thank you for the question, and thank you for letting me read it. Yeah, Joel, absolutely. It does look like it is his last grasp of power. Well, as you know, tonight is the night. I am baffled why people are allowed to talk that way to the President of the United States. I mean, in other countries, they'd be heavily censored. You can't act that way. It's just shocking to me how people are allowed to speak to one another on both sides. It's just not appropriate. But let's see how the speech, I think the speech is going to be in another 30 minutes. I took a Benadryl and I'm so sensitive to drugs that I can actually hear my speech being affected from 25 milligrams of Benadryl. It's like, that's another reason why I don't like to take it, because then I'm like, People are like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I am okay, but I can breathe great. And I'm not coughing. But I am a little high from the Benadryl. I'm a little stoned, to be quite frank with you guys. It's hitting me. But I do appreciate the fact that it lets you breathe. All right, so Biden booed tonight. Let's take a look. Probably Marjorie Taylor Greene. There's a woman here pounding, my way, boom, boom, my way. It's probably Marjorie. Heavy work lay ahead. Oh, wow. Hopes and fears, opposition. Taking the power away from the opposition. Ace of Cups. Tremendous amount of work if there's bipartisan effort. Ace of Cups means that he's going to be praising bipartisan efforts over the opposition. He's going to be able to control the opposition. That's him. His opposition is poor and heavy work. He has a vision for America. The other is confused. He offers them a bipartisan building plan. Look at this, business, unified Ace of Cups. He's going to get his deal because Ace of Cups is with the businessman. So the businessman doesn't lose because he gets new contracts. I think overall, Republicans are starting to like Biden. So you have to realize that a certain percentage of Republicans are never going to vote for Trump. That Trump got, say, 60% of the vote. So the other, 37, 38% goes to Haley or whatever. That's potentially devastating. He doesn't have the same support he used to have. So that means that the only way Trump can win is a third-party candidate, which brings us to the issue of third-party candidates, which is something I know you folks had wanted to talk about in the past. Do you feel that there is a third-party candidate out there that could split the vote the way that, say, Ralph Nader did it? What was it, in 1990, or it was in 2000, 2004, when Nader did it, right? And then again, when people felt like there was civil war that happened because of the Bernie supporters, right? People that refused to get out and vote, right? They refused to vote for Hillary, right? So we lost votes because of people that simply would not vote for Hillary. You love stutter. Well, it is a really kind of buzzy feeling. Benadryl. Have you guys ever taken Benadryl? But my nasal passages, I'm not coughing, so it's kind of like mixed benefits. But I feel my mouth is really dry, like if you were smoking marijuana or something. Welcome, people. So I guess who's going to run as an independent? Do you think Kennedy would run as an independent? Rush is asking that question because I'm asking, could Kennedy take a huge chunk of Michigan? Which, if that were to happen, that could potentially give it to, that would be the only way that Trump could win. Yeah, I'm probably going to fall asleep at 9. That's why I don't like to take it. I literally fall asleep. I don't even realize I'm falling asleep when I take Benadryl. Like sometimes I'll just be reading a book and I'll wake up and it'll be 4 a.m. I don't like that feeling. Okay, let's see about Kennedy. It's best to take it before bed, I think, Benadryl, if you're going to take it. See, people are giving him money. See, this bothers me. Why would people be giving him money? Republicans are giving him money because they want him to be the spoiler, 2 of Cups. He's being wooed. Isn't that what they did with Jill Stein also, trying to let Jill debate? The whole entire thing was engineered by Putin. I think people are, his opposition is concerned. His opposition, temperance. There's a real concern here. 2 of Cups could be that he's wooed, hopes and fears poverty, that he will fall short or that he won't get enough funding for his campaign. Things could move very quickly with his campaign. No. And furthermore, he's getting death threats, and Spirit is advising him to step away because he's at high risk of being harmed. He could also be in a booby trap where somebody tries to bribe him and then tricks him into something, because 10 of Swords is to be betrayed, stabbed in the back. It can even be an assassination. I don't like these cards for him. I think he means well. Some of the stuff he says is great when he's concerned about microplastics and things like this and environmental catastrophes. I think it's great. His fears about the vaccine simply aren't bearing of reality. Did you hear about this guy who went all over Europe he wanted to experiment with what would happen if he got 125 vaccinations of COVID and nothing happened to him? They thought he was selling vaccination cards, like getting vaccinated and then giving people his card. And so they arrested him and questioned him in Ireland. And he said, no, I'm just a scientist from some university, and I wanted to see what would happen. And they said, well, do you mind if we take your blood? And so he said, okay. And his T cells were slightly elevated, which is what you would expect if you had an exposure to an antigen, because that's what T cells are supposed to do. And other than that, the guy was fine. So my concern here with his cards is that he has a devastating future if he takes money from questionable sources. I don't like this business cards over him. I also don't like the fact that he's financially compromised. I don't see him pulling it off. Yeah, I don't see him pulling it off. I do want to look at Trump's health, because I feel like Trump's health is so bad right now that I wonder how much longer before. I feel like he could stroke out at any moment. Am I the only one who feels like this? That one of these days he doesn't sleep, he eats junk. I mean, it's like, he's a drug addict, right? Let's take a look, because this kind of decline that we're seeing in him makes people think that he's declining so rapidly, he might not be able to make it much longer. It's a very rapid decline you see with Trump. Delusional dementia. He's developing dementia. Yeah. You guys want to see dementia? Living in La La Land. Queen of Cups. The moon. This can also be alcoholism and addiction, but the moon, lunacy in her cups, dreaming. She lives in a world of dreams. Defensive, having issues with sobriety. Anybody surprised that we're starting to see these kind of weird juxtaposition of lunacy, living in a dream world? Anybody want to talk about it? Anybody surprised? They say all she wants to do is seek revenge. All she wants to do is seek revenge. You know, do you think that all Trump thinks about is taking revenge? He wants to go to war. He wants to go to war. He wants to go to war, Chariot. It's like a revenge kind of a feeling. I want to get into a position of power and then I want to avenge my enemies. It's a really psychotic, it's a very psychotic imagery. Complete delusion. Moon rubs her lamp and dreams, lives in her own. I wonder, I just want to just check and see how successful he'll be. Yeah, the dreaming narcissist, Queen of Cups dreams, she's got a heart, she's highly emotional. But juxtaposition with a moon card, which would be lunacy, that's too much water. That's very Cancerian, but that's almost to the point of delusion. That is delusion. If there had also been a devil there, that would be really, she's obsessive thoughts, codependence, addiction. But temperance there would indicate possible sobriety issues. How's his campaign? Let me check his campaign. No, he's trying to avoid imprisonment. Eight of Swords. His opposition, evidence against him. High Priestess. Hopes and fears his own mental health. Lunacy. Again, here defending himself. Clarification over his, see, this is also red tape. It's because he doesn't have that money. Did they take him out with the money? He's also worried about his health. His opposition, his opposition is doing great. His opposition is laughing in celebration. Armistice Day. Look at this. His health becomes a problem. He's constricted by his own health as well. His enemy has goods on him, High Priestess, and look at the women rejoicing. That's Armistice. So we're doing great in the next couple of weeks. His hopes and fears, mental health, Ace of Cups. He could get off on mental health issues. Ace of Cups is to receive an offer. Again, moon, lunacy, howling at the moon. He's trying to generate money to evade prison also. You can see here, Seven of Pentacles moving in, a desire to defend his position. Dang, there it is again. He's delusional. The courts will show him mercy. He doesn't have any money, man. Oh, Elon Musk isn't going to give him a dime. Elon Musk does not support either candidate. He made a statement yesterday. He said, I don't like it. He's not going to vote for an elderly. He was not supporting. He's a businessman, so he has to meet with any potential new president because of the nature of his business, but he himself does not support Biden or Trump. But he'll grudgingly vote for Biden because he's always voted Democrat. But he has to be, I think it's a marketing ploy to get Republicans and conservatives onto Twitter. I think he's not allowed to be a Democrat or a Republican, so he claims he's both. But his voting record has always been Democrat. Nope. Elon Musk said he won't give him a dime. He said, I will not be contributing to any candidates. He's very shrewd with his money, too. So the idea that he would bail out Trump, a guy who he thinks is crazy, I mean, that's laughable. What he's mad at Biden about is because he wants money to be saved for research that goes back into the company not to be taxed. This was the argument. but the money is not for me. It's not for me to have a castle in the sky. It's for me. The money is going back into research, and a hefty portion of my company's money goes right back into research. So that was the war he was having with the feds over taxes, saying if you tax me at this rate, then this amount of when it's predominantly research based. So the war is how much do we give a tax break to somebody who's putting money back into I think it's a legitimate argument, because particularly if he has contracts with NASA and if he's showing that the money is being put back into. So that's his whole snap with AOC, because he himself only has 500 square feet. He's like, I'm in a freaking studio. I don't have anything. The money is to go back to the research of the company. So he's all about live frugally, boiled eggs and tuna, right, for your protein. It's like Warren Buffett probably eats the same food you guys eat, and just have your life be as simple as possible and put 110% into your vision. But also, everybody has to like you, which means just like Putin, just like the CIA, you've got to be all things to all people, which means you've got to be nice to everybody. But if you historically look at his voting record, he's always voted Democrat. But no, he's not great. I think his concerns about age in the election are legitimate. Like he said, he voted for Biden, but Biden is not. He believes Biden is showing evidence of cognitive decline, whether or not Democrats can emotionally handle that or not. That is basically what he has said. So he was looking at younger. He wanted a primary, and he wanted somebody that was like 45 years old that was a Democrat. What was his name? I can't remember the guy's name. But that was the guy that had that guy gotten more support, Elon Musk would have endorsed him. And Elon Musk interviewed him for like 2 hours, and I listened to that interview. It was kind of cool. And it was very pro-immigration, much to my surprise. They were both it was everything that his tweets are not saying. Like they were like, well, we have to vet them, and then once they're vetted, we get great temporary housing, and then $10,000 to start your business, small business. But this was coming from the candidate and from Elon Musk, and these were extremely left of center ideas. So what he was saying, it wasn't even private. 15,000 people were listening to it, and what he was tweeting were two entirely different things. So does he think that the conservatives listen only to the tweets, and then the intellectuals will sit for the 2-hour conversation? I mean, it's almost as if it's two different audiences. So that's strange to me, and I don't know what that's about, but that is what seems to be going on. Maybe that's what being a good business person is about. You have to be all things to all people. I don't know. I know that he likes Benny Gantz, who is a liberal, who's left of center, who is the main person I gave the Oasis One peace initiative to. So he doesn't appear to be supporting Bibi, who's the Republican. So, so what do we take away from that? I think what I take away from it is that Elon Musk doesn't like war. He's also come out publicly and said he stands with Ukraine. So, it's one of those things where, people are complicated. I think people are really complicated. And let me show you guys something. What do we take away? What clearly somebody is left of center. That's all I'm saying. We'll leave it at that. Comments, questions? Okay, we'll do one more and then we'll close. I know everybody wants. So, yeah, I think somebody is playing both sides of it. I think he wants to build peace in the Middle East, and I think that he really does care. And I think that even though he's got some issues, he's got some racist stuff to work out. He's got some racism issues. People are complicated. You know, I hope he works them out. As do I, as do all of us. We all have stuff to work out. We have to be honest with ourselves, you know, about our own imperfections, right? Actually, he and Zelensky had a really great talk recently, and Zelensky invited him to come visit. And he does not appear to be compromised by Putin. He wants a space program with the Russians. That's what it is. And so it's because of future space exploration that he offered to work with them, going back to, I think, 2021 or something, or even earlier. So the bigger political issue for him doesn't appear to be that he was compromised. It had to do more with working with NASA and working with cosmonauts and the ethics of that, and how sanctions got in the way of their research, because they were also, I think, collaborating in research. Oh, wow. I don't know. We can look at that. Congratulations to Sweden. They got ratified today, by the way, which is something that we predicted. I do want to talk a little bit about that. Thank you for bringing that up. He stands with Israel, which is going to support Gaza, because Gaza will become like Canada. We just have to get rid of the bad people. And part of getting rid of the bad people, unfortunately, means also getting rid of Netanyahu. But I think that Benny Gantz is the future, clearly. Clearly, that's where the money is, and people don't want war anymore. Netanyahu we don't want that anymore. That's not where we're headed. Okay, so the next question before we go has to do with what I had said about Ukraine. We were probably going to see the West win. I also said that I saw Sweden coming in. I think that was over a year ago that I saw Swedish jets going in. So when I see it, when I follow the energy and see it, people get angry at me because why isn't it happening now, doctor? And then people get mad at me. Or it doesn't happen at all. Or people have a choice like Mitch McConnell and they choose the wrong thing, right? So let's see what's going on, how Ukraine is doing in the war. They have spies. They have to be very careful about Russian spies. They're arresting people, spies in their camps. Opposition. There's this thing about spies. They have the support of the world. Wow, Russia lost a lot of people. There's a huge exchange of prisoners. They have a lot of Russian prisoners. A lot of people died. It's just that they bankrupted Russia. It's just what happened. Business, the West wiped. They couldn't continue on financially. Look at this. Look at this grief. They had to hang it up in the grave. So many people died. I mean, this is really terrible. Yeah. Also, there was a lot of Russians in prison. This is an imprisonment card. They've imprisoned their opposition. So basically, they're saying that the war will likely end, that Ukraine will win, and that they will return back to Russia. There will be an exchange of prisoners, and that the cause of the collapse of Russia, they could not maintain the war because they were bankrupted and because their money was seized. It's a financial, you can see here. So the world came in. Many Russians lived and were incarcerated, which is good news, at least. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, everybody, for attending and watching this loopy reading with me on Benadryl. Anything else I need to say? Yes, if you're trying to get in for a reading with me, you need a phone reading. The information is below. Make sure to make your appointments before March 22nd, because after March 22nd, prices are going up anywhere from 20 to 40%. The telemedicine health stuff is going up 40%, but that's also because I'm going to start including 2 months worth of herbal medicine treatment with your treatment. So if you make an appointment with me by phone as your naturopathic doctor, it will come with 2 months worth of herbal treatments. So I'm just going to include it because I've been doing it separate and then it doesn't work. So last thing I want to announce is that our book of the month, thank you to the wonderful person who sent it to us, Leslie Kane. It's a beautiful book if you are interested in healing your life from abuse. Victims and Survivors Journey from Dysfunction to Junction. And as is our way at the end of the month, we hope to have her here for an interview. Okay, I think that's all I've got for you guys. Be kind to all so that all can be kind to you too, as they say. Yes. We'll see you next time, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you for your memberships and everything. We're up to nearly 40,000 people. My gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye.